Hello, everyone. It is Felicia Bender, the practical numerologist. We are going to get into the one pinnacle. Okay, so if you have no clue what the pinnacles are, you just clicked on this and are curious, you won't know what yours are until you can do the math on it. Look down in the description box. There will be some links to videos that describe what the pinnacles are, actually, what they even are in numerology, in Pythagorean numerology, and then how to calculate those. So I'm making a wild assumption that if you're clicking right now, you know that you are experiencing a number one pinnacle in numerology, or you will be, or you have been. So let's put it into context, all right? So the pinnacle number one, it is all about independence and self-reliance. So, of course, it's going to show up differently a little bit depending on when you experience it. So, we're going to break it down in terms of the first pinnacle. If you have a number one pinnacle as your first pinnacle, or as your second, or as your third, or your fourth. So, as you can see on the infographic on the screen, take some notes. I don't know, take a screenshot, whatever works for you, to get an idea about how this might have met up with you personally. All right. So, if you experienced a one pinnacle in a first pinnacle cycle, that is it's kind of the time of attainment. Hans D. Coase talks about that verbiage, that language. And this really is a point where you find yourself in an environment that you eventually learn to extract from and form your own sense of self and your own self identity. So often this is a time of either acquiescing to where you find yourself, or rebellion against it. Okay. It's a fertile time for the development of creative talents, for leadership, and finding yourself develop, and you will find yourself developing independence during this time. So the theme here, when you are in a one at any time that you are experiencing a one that shows up in your cycle, whether it's part of your core numbers, whether it is a personal year, whether it's an essence cycle, it's always going to bring up the same sorts of lessons and of opportunities and of challenges. And those reside in self-confidence, standing on your own 2 feet, codependencies, all of those aspects. So if you had a one pinnacle, it was in your first pinnacle. That's kind of how it might show up. So let's look at if it showed up in your second pinnacle cycle, that time of obligation. And this is a period where you're being called upon to stand up for yourself and to lean into your offbeat, unique kind of weirdo ideas, right? Or your personality traits. This is often a time where you need to develop a thicker skin, where you are going to get opportunities and experiences that allow you to, what I call, fail forward, and learn to take calculated risk with the proper intelligence, with the proper intel, with the proper information, with the proper skills and training. All right. So the third, if you show up in a number one pinnacle in your third pinnacle cycle, this is a time of foundation. So the courage, resilience, and forward thinking are ruling this period of time. Learning again to extract from those codependencies and understand how to co-create is a real hallmark of this pinnacle. The highest and best is when you can exert your independence, take the lead, be creative, be entrepreneurial, and yet also take others into consideration during this time. Balancing the ego, standing on your own 2 feet, and inspired leadership are key aspects and key elements to this pinnacle cycle. And so if you experience a number one pinnacle in your fourth pinnacle cycle, this is a time of of you know accumulation or culmination. I'm trying to kind of put those words together, actually. Anyway, so this is what you're leading up to. All of your pinnacles are building, are educating you, are giving you the experience to really shine during this final period of time that is, I will always say, in the pinnacle cycles, the first pinnacle cycle, pinnacle period of time, and the last pinnacle are going to be the longest periods of time, of course, depending on how long we live, but they are 30, let's just say at least 30 years, give or take 30-year cycles. So a whole different lifetime. So if you have a one pinnacle in your fourth pinnacle cycle, this is a time to stand up and be counted. It's time to march to your beat of your own drum. The challenges are going to be in engaging with others without pushing your own agenda all the time, and refusing input from others. This could be a time where you're standing alone, being alone. One can be the loneliest number. So the highest and best of the lessons of the number one are learning how to be independent, how to assert yourself, and yet also be with others, also lead a team and understand team dynamics, whether that's a team in terms of your partnership with your intimate relationships, family, friends, and then that extends, of course, into your career or business life. So the fine line here is to learn to exert your independence here and to really shine in those areas, and yet also not just stand alone. Okay. So that is the one pinnacle. Again, if you're unsure about the timing for these for you, or how to even calculate those, please take a look in the description box below. Like and share. Thanks.